Hi, it's Charlotte, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I kind of just wanted to do quite a little chill video and just sort of go through my makeup collection and kind of do a little declutter, as I feel like if you've seen a couple of my videos on my channel recently, you've seen that I've been buying quite a lot of makeup. My collection's growing quite a bit too big, so I just thought I'd see if there's anything I can get rid of. Please don't come for me if I don't get rid of too much, as in my last makeup declutter I got rid of quite a lot, so I have a feeling there's not going to be a lot to get rid of today, but I will try my best. Yeah, I'm basically just going to go through all my makeup and show you my collection and try and get rid of some of this stuff. So yeah, if you'd like to see that, then please carry on watching. So yeah, I think I'm basically going to start off with this big acrylic box. I got this off Amazon years ago and I just think it's the most handy thing. I kind of try and section all my products into each drawer. And yeah, I just find it super helpful, and it kind of, when a drawer starts to get a bit full, it sort of is like a little reminder to me that maybe I should get rid of some stuff or stop buying. Right, so I tend to use the top drawer for all my primers, but I feel like I don't really have a huge amount of primers, so I might try and stick some concealers up here as well afterwards. But yeah, I'm going to try and go through these. So first off, I have the Charlotte Tilbury Magic primer. I can't remember exactly what this is called, but this is honestly one of my favourite primers. I haven't had this for too long and it's just so nice to give you like a little, kind of like a more of a bronzy glow, I feel like. I'm obsessed with this and will continue to repurchase this one. I then have the Tarte Watermelon Primer. This is very near my collection, so I'm not going to be getting rid of this one. I also have the Mercier Radiance Primer, and again, I just feel like this is like my perfect summer holiday primer. Okay, so this is the Too Faced Hangover Primer, and I do really love this. In fact, I think this is my second one, as before I discovered Charlotte Tilbury and Mercier, this was my go-to primer. I do think I've had this for quite a long time, and the last few times I've tried to use it, it's sort of gotten quite like lumpy, and it's gotten quite like too thick to the point where like it doesn't actually blend in on my face. I don't know if I'd pick this over my other ones anymore, so I do think I'm going to throw this away, as I'm pretty sure it also must be out of date. So this is the MAC Fix Plus in the Rose scent, and I remember being so excited to buy this because I just remember being absolutely obsessed with anything in the Rose scent. As you can see, like, there's just so much product left, and I think I've honestly had this for like 2 years or something, and I feel like maybe I could give this to someone else who might get more use out of it. I think I'm going to take this out of my collection because I honestly wouldn't repurchase this now. And then I have the Morphe Continuous Mist Spray. Again, this is one of my newer ones, and I feel like if I am wearing a bit more makeup or wearing makeup on a night out, I'll probably more likely to opt for something like this, and it's such a nice spray. And also I feel like this is really my only sort of like setting spray rather than a primer, so I am going to keep this one. I also have this Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden, and again, I don't really use this often because I don't often do like a dramatic eyeshadow look, but I do like to keep this just in case. Okay, now I'm going to go on to my foundations and concealers. First I have this Glossy Stretch Concealer, which is very new, and also I just absolutely love this because I feel like it's so natural and nice just for like every day. I also have this Nars Pot Concealer, which I have had for quite a while, and it is a little bit mucky. Probably need a new one of these soon, but I do really like this again because it's just the sort of concealer I feel like I can just throw on and just wear this on its own if I want to go out. Next I have two Tarte concealers. Definitely going to keep both of these. The Tarte Shape Tape is basically just my go-to concealer for like a little night out or full face of makeup. And then this one, the Creaseless, is a bit more of a new addition, and I really like this as well because it's quite dewy, and yeah, I bought this one in Paris. I do think I'm going to throw away this, which is the Catrice Cosmetics Camouflage Concealer. I'm not sure if I was going to throw this away in my last declutter. I feel like I might have, but then I figured that there was some product left in it, but this is definitely pretty much empty, and if I do use it, I always feel like I'm not very happy with the way it looks, so I am going to get rid of this now. Obviously, keeping my collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. I repurchase this over and over and probably will never stop. I then have my Charlotte Tilbury concealer. Again, if I'm wanting a little bit more of a natural concealer, I do really like this. Last but not least, I have a Mercier concealer, which I've bought again quite recently, and again I just love how this looks on the skin. It's not the most full coverage, but I just love how hydrating this is under the eyes. I almost forgot my favourite concealer of them all is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I can't believe I almost forgot this one. Again, I think I will repurchase this over and over because it's just my sort of go-to concealer that I always know will look good. Right, I'm now going to go on to foundations, which I feel like this isn't going to go very well. The same with the concealers because I don't have many, and I feel like the ones I do have I do really like. So I'm going to start off with the Dior Skin Glow foundation, which is my most recent foundation purchase. I did say in my foundation review on my channel that this isn't my absolute favourite foundation, but I do really like it. Next up, another foundation that is quite new in my collection. Again, I've done a foundation review of this on my channel. They were quite expensive foundations, so I felt like other people might want to know if they were good before spending the money as well, and this foundation actually has become my new favourite foundation. But yeah, it's the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, and I'm definitely never getting rid of this one. We then have the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Foundation, and again I really love this, especially for like the spring or summer, or if I want a bit more light coverage, and I just think this is beautiful. Again, like the Fenty one, when I'm looking for a bit more of a lighter coverage, I will opt for this, especially if I'm going like on a holiday or something. And yeah, I think this works beautifully with the foundation primer as well. I next have the Glossy Skin Tint, which again I've bought quite recently, and I did really like this. It's not my favourite foundation and I probably wouldn't repurchase this. I was contemplating getting rid of this one, the Rimmel Lasting Radiance. However, this is currently now my only drugstore foundation, which it sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? I haven't reached for this one for a while, but this definitely is my favourite when it comes to the drugstore. Right, and then last but not least, I have my Nars Sheer Glow foundations. This was probably the first high-end foundation I ever bought, and it immediately became my favourite. However, I just don't tend to wear a lot of coverage nowadays, so I haven't reached for this in so long. I do think I'm going to get rid of Deauville. So I have Deauville and Fiji, as I bought Deauville to start with and then realised it was a bit too light for me, so Fiji is my correct shade. So I think I might get rid of Deauville and keep Fiji. I don't know if you can see down here, but these are all of my powders, and I feel like we're going to have another bad situation, as I'm not going to want to get rid of many of these. I've gone a bit powder crazy in the last few months, so you'll have to bear with me. We will try our best to get rid of some of these. I'm going to start off with my pressed powders first, I think. So I have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush pressed powder, and this is probably my favourite pressed powder, and I'm definitely not getting rid of this one. I next think I'm going to keep my Stay Matte Maybelline pressed powder, as this is just, I feel like, a complete staple, and if you don't have this, then I don't know why you don't have this, because it's just such a good powder and super inexpensive. And then I have the Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder, and again I think I'm going to keep this too. This is my last pressed powder, so I don't have many, and I think I will just keep the ones that I do have, as two of them aren't drugstore anyway, and I do really like all of them. Right, so this is the Fenty Beauty Loose Powder in the shade Butter, and actually when I used this for the first time I wasn't blown away with it and almost thought I'd wasted my money, but then ever since I've been completely obsessed with it and I absolutely love this powder. This Glossier loose powder is also quite new to my collection, and I've really been enjoying this as well, so I think I'm also going to keep this too, as I'm sort of still testing it out. This Too Faced loose powder is probably the first loose powder I ever bought, and still to this day I've been absolutely loving it. I've been so into my loose powders this year, so I feel like I'm gonna say that I'm in love with all of these loose powders, but it's the absolute truth. This is the newest loose powder to my collection. Yes, I've been buying a lot of makeup recently, and this is the YSL loose powder in translucent. So far so good, but I am still testing this out, but she was expensive, so I'm not quick to get rid of her. I remember being so excited when I got this RCMA powder. I got it because of Kathleen Lights, but if I'm gonna be honest, I just haven't used it as much as I thought I would, and yeah, I just think I could give this to someone else and they might get a bit more use out of it. I've just never ever reached for it, and I'm not really too sure why. I've then got the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder, version of the pressed one. I got this in the US and I absolutely love this one, a little bit more even so than the pressed one, and you can't even get it here in the UK, so I'm definitely going to keep a hold of this one. I feel like I don't even really have to talk about these, but these are the Jaclyn Hill loose highlighters, and I'm not getting rid of these. I mean, they're technically highlighters, but they are powders. I do have a drawer here dedicated to Benefit makeup, as I've just recently started working at Benefit, so I do have this drawer of makeup so that I can sort of just go through this drawer when I want to wear makeup for work. So I am just going to leave this drawer for now because, I mean, there's nothing I'd want to throw away from here anyway. And instead we're going to move on to bronzers and blushes, which, I mean, this isn't going to go well, folks. I'm honestly contemplating whether it's even worth doing this drawer, but I'm obviously also showing you my makeup collection, so I will go through all of it. I'm going to do bronzers first. I first off have my Marc Jacobs Tantastic bronzer. That is so bright, so I'm sorry if you can't see that. Absolutely obsessed with this bronzer, and it is broken, but I'm not getting rid of this one. Then I have my Physicians Butter bronzer, which again I got in the US the first time I ever went to the US. It's honestly one of my favourites of my bronzers, and it's definitely the best smelling bronzer that I have. I then have my L'Oreal Glam Bronze, and this is definitely my favourite drugstore bronzer, so I probably always keep this. Last but not least, I have two bronzer sticks. So I have the Nude Sticks Bondi Bay, which I've just got recently, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this. It's honestly like my new favourite bronzer. And then I've also got a bronzer sort of halo scope from Glossier, which I'm not gonna lie isn't my absolute favourite. It is a little bit shimmery for me, but I do still think this will be really nice for holidays or in the summer. As I've just mentioned the bronzer nude sticks, I thought I would show you the blush nude sticks that I've bought also, and again I'm absolutely obsessed with these right now. I've got In the Nude and Bareback, and I'm just obsessed with both of these. I think I'm going to get rid of my Body Shop liquid blush just because I've bought other liquid blushes and blush sticks recently that I prefer. I then have my Glossier Cloud Paints in Beam and Dusk. I absolutely love these and I definitely want some more. I do think the nude sticks are maybe a little bit nicer than these, but I do also really like these and I definitely want some more shades. I then have my Charlotte Tilbury blush in Pillow Talk, and this is honestly one of my favourite blushes of all time. I'm going to say that about all of these, aren't I? But I was absolutely loving this in the winter especially. I just think it just gives you like a beautiful sort of like rosy flush across the face. I then have the Burt's Bees blushes, which I've already said this in the past, but there's no way I could ever get rid of any of these. I'm pretty sure I've got all the shades and I just love the formula of these and all of the shades. I then have the Tarte blush in Sensual and this Sleek blush in Suede, and I've always kind of said that the Sleek one actually I think is like a more pigmented version of the Tarte blush, and I do kind of prefer a blush that I can build up a bit more, so I think I'm going to keep the Tarte and get rid of the Sleek one. This is the Milani blush in Luminoso, and I just find it so funny that in my last declutter I came so close to throwing this one away, and then I thought, you know what, I'll try and get use out of it, and then it became one of my favourite winter blushes and I kind of wore it all winter. I then have this Zoella Colourpop Brunch Date blush, which is basically one of my favourite pink blushes, and I'm definitely going to keep this one. My L'Oreal Life's a Peach, again, is just one of my favourite blushes, especially from the drugstore, so I think I'm going to have to keep this one as well. So I have this Jouer blush palette, which honestly has two really beautiful blushes in. I definitely haven't got as much use out of it as I really wanted to. I want to give it another go, like I did with the Milani one last time, and see if I can get a bit more use out of this. Similarly with these, I haven't worn these that much this year, however the Wet n Wild blushes are just so pretty. I remember them very well and they're really inexpensive as well, so I'd feel really bad to throw these away. I'm going to give them another go, another chance, and to see if I wear them a bit more, because I really love these, and these are in the shades Apricot in the Middle and Mellow Wine. And last but not least, I have the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. I forgot to mention this with my other bronzers. Absolutely love the contour and the highlighter. Right, now we have the highlighter drawer, which to be fair, isn't looking too shabby. First off, these two Colourpop highlighters in Flexitarian and Lunch Money. I absolutely love these sort of Colourpop highlighters, and to be fair, I really want some more. I especially like these sort of in like the spring summer months. Next, I would absolutely never give up this Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. It is the best gold highlighter that I've ever come across, and I'm obsessed with it. This Fenty highlighter isn't one of my absolute favourites because it's more of like a pinky highlighter, but because it is pretty much my only pinky highlighter, I'm going to keep it because it is still very pretty. It's just not one I reach for a huge amount. I next have my MAC Nylon Pot, which is just the perfect inner corner highlight. I then have this Aspen Ovard Pixie Collab highlighter in Santorini Sunset, which I think is just a beautiful highlighter for the summer, or if you've got a bit more of a tan, I just think is absolutely beautiful. I next have this Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand that I got in Paris, and I just thought it looked so fun, and this isn't like the most blinding highlight at all, but it does give you just like a little bit of a nice little glowy sheen on your cheeks, and it is really pretty, and it is nice to have like sort of like a liquid highlighter as I don't really have any. However, this L'Oreal Glow Drops is a little bit more blinding, and I do love that it's like a champagne-y gold, and I was thinking about getting rid of this. However, I think they'd make a really nice sort of like body like glow drops as well. And then my newest highlighter to the collection is this Dior Skin Luminizer, and I'm really excited to start using this. I feel like it's a bit more of a nudie highlight, and I actually feel like I don't really have a shade like this, and I just think it's absolutely beautiful. I then have the Mary Lou Luminizer from the Balm, and this is, I've mentioned this in so many videos, but this is still till today probably my most used highlighter, and I just always go back to this if in doubt, and I just love this. Right, this last drawer is basically a lot of stuff. It's a mix of like eyeshadow parts, like stuff for the eyes, eyebrows, so I'm just going to get all this out. Right, I have this Be Beauty brow styler, which I'm pretty sure I've never used, so I'm going to get rid of this. I then have this Charlotte Tilbury Colour Chameleon in Amber Haze, which I actually got second hand, and actually when I bought it I felt like it didn't really blend out very well, so I don't know if it's because of the person I bought it from or if it's the actual formula. I've got the By Terry like eyelid shade in Frozen Quartz. I saw a video of Zoe using this in one of her makeup videos and then instantly wanted it. I also really want the Goldie one as well, and I just absolutely love these. I then have both of Zoe's Colourpop collab brunch date liquid eyeshadows, and I absolutely love both of these. I just think they're absolutely beautiful and wear really nice on the eye, so I'm going to keep both of these. I then have this Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow pot in the shade Bet, and I really like this. I do find it a little bit dark sometimes, and I do wish I got in some lighter shades. I definitely want to get some of the lighter shades. I then have one of the Glossier lid stars in the shade Slip, and it's just this really pretty pink. I'm not too sure on the formula just yet. I need to test it out a little bit more, as the first time I tried it, it did crease like a little bit. I then have these two Colourpop Shock eyeshadows from, I think, Kathleen Light's collab, her first ever collab that she came out with, and she came out with like a quad of these. And honestly, I don't think I really use these kinds of shades anymore. They're quite like bronzy and like orangey amber shades. I'm next going to get rid of this NYX Vivid Lights Bright Pink eyeliner. I got rid of like all the other colours at some point but kept the pink and held on to it, and I'm not really sure why. I think it's because I went through a pink phase. I mean, I'm never going to wear this, so it's going to go. We have the Benefit Roller Liner in this brown shade, and this is my go-to eyeliner currently. I really need some more brown eyeliners, but I'm definitely going to get the full size of this once I'm finished with it, as it's honestly my new favourite eyeliner. So I think I'm going to get rid of this Collection brown eyeliner because I definitely prefer the roller liner over this one. And then when it comes to my black liquid eyeliners, I have the Stila Stay All Day, this Revolution one, and the Super Cat black eyeliner, and I think I'm going to keep the Super Cat and the Stila and get rid of the Revolution. And these are my Colourpop sort of like pencil eyeliners. The orange ones are from Zoella's collab, and it's a brown and a black, and the white ones are from, oh, I just bought these years ago I think, and I just think they're really old and unused, so I think I'm going to get rid of the white ones and keep Zoella's collab. When it comes to brow products, I have the Benefit Precisely My Brow, the 24-Hour Brow Setter and the Gimme Brow, and I love all of these. And then apart from that, I just have the Glossier Brow Gel, which has honestly become my favourite brow gel as well. Still love the Benefit one, but if I'm feeling like a little bit more of a bushy brow, I will go for this one. Moving on to mascaras, I have of course got the Collection Lash Surge. I'm pretty sure in my Declutter that was like the third one. Absolute go-to if in doubt mascara. And then aside the Collection Lash Surge, I have fallen back in love with the Benefit Bad Gal Bang. I did have this a few years ago, but I never repurchased it, but honestly I just find this so lengthening. I wouldn't say it gives the most volume, but I do love the length that it gives, and that is probably the thing I look most for when it comes to mascara. And then aside from that, I have my Revolution mascara and my Glossier. I have bought the Glossier a lot more recently, and it is very natural and not my favourite, but I'm going to keep it because I've only just bought it, and for a very natural day I would really like this, to be fair. However, the Revolution one I find way too clumpy. I really didn't ever wear it that much, so I think I'm going to get rid of this one and keep the Glossier. And then also going to get rid of my Too Faced Better Than Sex Mini. I do still love the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, but I feel like this has dried out a bit and I do need to purchase a full-size one at some point. Right, I'm now going to go on to the challenge of my eyeshadow palettes. Don't come for me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get rid of any of these because I feel like I got rid of so many last time. So we're going to see. We then have Kathleen's collab with Colourpop, Dream Street. I think I'm going to get rid of. The thing is, I think I've come into like a bit of like a rut of like, I love supporting people that I watch, especially Kathleen. I feel like when she comes up with collab, I feel like I need to buy it. There's so many shades in here that I wouldn't use. All of like this bit, I just wouldn't ever use, and I feel like I could probably find these shades in another palette, so I'm gonna give this one away. I then have Safeties Nails Revolution collab eyeshadow palette. This is her first eyeshadow palette. I haven't reached for this in a long time. I used to reach for this quite a lot when I went on like nights out and did like quite dramatic makeup, but I just don't do that anymore, and I just think these shades are a bit too dark and colourful for me now, so I'm gonna get rid of this. And then the next few are all the palettes that I've bought in the last couple of months, so I'm definitely not going to be getting rid of these, but I just thought I'd show you them anyway. So I have the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. This was my first Anastasia palette that I bought. When they came out with the Soft Glam one, I was a little bit obsessed. I then have the Huda Beauty Nude palette. This is just absolutely beautiful. Sorry if it's a bit bright now. Yes, I just think that's absolutely beautiful. And then last but not least, I've just recently bought this Nars palette. This is the Nectar palette. Some beautiful little like warm shades in a little travel palette. So there we go, I got rid of these two palettes and this bag full of a lot of makeup. Hopefully I got rid of a decent amount, I'm not too sure. I think I got rid of a lot more than I thought I was going to. So yeah, I will probably be throwing the majority of this away, as most of it is either expired makeup or just a bit, I've had it way too long. Anything I don't throw away I'll probably just give away or to a friend or someone if I feel like they want it. Yeah, aside from that, I really hope you enjoyed this video. That is everything that I got rid of. It's a lot more than I thought I would, so yeah, I'm really proud of myself. I really hope you enjoyed this video and watching this little makeup collection / declutter. If you did, then please give it a big thumbs up down below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!